I was going homeless.
You know, one thing I heard about you is I also heard that you were a teacher.
I got fired. I got fired from every job I've been at. Smoothie King, valet, security, Auntie Ons.
The last time I just seen you 5 days ago, you were with Jim Carrey. What's going on?
Well, this is at the Sonic premiere and just chopped it up. And yeah, he's a nice guy.
The song you got in the movie, how long did it take you to make?
It took me an hour to make.
So who would you want to work with at this particular point in your career?
What would you call your music?
It's just like EDM mixed with rap and just a bunch of genres.
Can you tell us maybe one thing that maybe we don't know or someone may not know about you? And we're back for another special episode of the Clearly Culture podcast live from Johnny Dang's. And today we have a very special guest, the one and only Odetari. What's up, Tari?
So, bro,
How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good.
The last time I just seen you 5 days ago, you were with Jim Carrey. What's going on?
Well, this is at the Sonic premiere and just chopped it up. And yeah, he's a nice guy.
Bro, but the Sonic movie, like, are you a fan of Sonic?
Of course. That's
So-
what got me here.
So when they hit you up and they're like, we want to use your music in the Sonic movie, how did that feel?
It was a full circle moment. I played the games all my life, and then I used the AI to make those characters say obscene shit to blow my music up. And like just a year later, like, yeah, man, just full circle, like meant to be type shit.
Okay, wait, rewind. When did you very first start making music and stuff?
I started making music 2012, 2013, a little over 10 years ago.
I gotta know, how did you get the name?
Odetari is my original the first part Odie is my original last name. And then Tari is
Gaming console?
it's a gaming console, the Atari.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because a lot of my music is video game inspired.
So you've been making music for better part over a decade now, but take us through that, because did you just go straight from doing music to doing the big stuff you're doing now? Or while you were making music, one thing I heard about you is I also heard that you were a teacher.
What?
Not a teacher.
A substitute teacher?
Yeah, I mean, like it was just a job I took up because the job market's super tough right now, and it was 2 years ago, and it was the only job that was hiring. You didn't need any experience or anything. I just took it.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
you were a sub, and now I just watched you a couple of hours ago. You spent $1,000 on this kid that you didn't even know for his shoes. Now, how do you get from being a substitute teacher able to splurge on $1,000 on a kid you don't know?
Well, I was a temporary sub. It didn't last more than like 2 months. I got fired. I've got fired from every job I've been at.
And why is that?
I just
Lazy?
I'm not good at taking directions from people who just are just like me. Like,
And when you say that, what do you mean just like you?
You're a human being. I never like people who take themselves too seriously.
Right.
I don't care what it is you do. Just because you're a manager at this job or that job, it doesn't mean you can treat me like I'm less than you, or I don't have any less problems than you. So if I have to step out this day and I can't make it into work, it's a big problem for you. But if that happens to you, you get no repercussions. I never have been able to understand that.
Oh, okay. So you weren't lazy, and you weren't mad at them for holding you to standards. You just felt like they weren't treating you like a human being.
Yeah, like I'm just your employee, and I get it, I am. But at the same time, you be a decent human being, be understanding. Everyone has different circumstances.
How old were the kids that you were teaching?
They were high schoolers, but it wasn't like no regular high schoolers, bro. These kids had ankle monitors on and shit, bro, Before that, I was working valet for like 3 years. I did valet, and I got laid off because of COVID. So ever since that COVID shit, it got really hard to get a job. I bounced around from everything: Smoothie King, valet, security, and Auntie Ons, bro. Like whatever you could think of, or Auntie Ans, however you say that shit. Like,
Right.
I did every job you could think of.
Do you still have a job right now, even though you're doing music?
Hell, I don't got a job. My job is music now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one cool thing about you is that, a lot of these artists, when they go and record, they have to have an engineer. They have to have someone that's recording the audio, mixing and mastering. The one thing with you, when I first met you, that I noticed when I was in the studio with you is that you make your own beats.
Yes.
You mix and master your own music. You record your own vocals. When you become like your own one-stop shop, how is that trying to work with others? Because in reality, you don't really need anyone else except you and a mic.
In the beginning, it was a very good flow, but like anybody, you get burnt out, and eventually you do have to come in and work with other people. You gotta share ideas and share that God sent energy. Yeah, I still to this day mix, master, and produce all my songs. But I will, at this time in my life, will reach out to people when I am feeling stuck to help me add on to what I've already created.
The song you got in the movie, how long did it take you to make? And did you get a big check for that?
Took me an hour to make, and I got a good check from it. Yes.
And what's the name of the song?
Keep Up.
Keep Up.
Yeah.
And what was the process and what were you thinking when you made the song?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this,
Uh-huh.
so I have to double check.
Go ahead and say it though.
But they just hit me and said, Sonic 3's coming up and they need a song, and I made it based around my vision of what the Sonic soundtrack would be like. It was just for the Sonic movie.
Really?
Yeah, but when we put it out, it was my biggest song. It charted on the Billboard Hot 100s. It's already gold. It was streaming like 2 million streams a day. Like it was crazy.
Man.
I didn't even expect that to happen.
I hate to be so ignorant. I've never heard the song. Can you give me some of it? Just a little bit.
You gotta look it up.
Okay. Look it up.
He wants to hear you sing it.
I'm not singing that.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm an electronic dance music artist. I rely a lot on my production, and I rely a lot on my presets and what I use for my voice. It's very glitchy, so it's not a very performative song.
What would you call your music?
Just like EDM mixed with rap and just a bunch of genres.
When it comes to touring, how will you tour? I'm just curious.
When I tour, I just perform
Okay.
like any other artist would, and there's a lot of high energy. Yeah.
Is it you by yourself?
Me and by myself, my DJ Melendez, he helps me a lot. Yeah.
And one thing about you is you are only one of a handful, if not to me, one of only a few artists from Houston that's ever done over 1 billion streams. I mean, we're talking Travis Scott, Beyonce,
Okay.
and Odetari.
I don't know. I just remember telling my grandma like around that time, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. My grandma's always been my biggest supporter. I told her I just need one song to blow up, one song, just so I could have something to do with the money I would get from it, because I was going homeless and I was getting kicked out of my place I was staying at. My dad was like, I can't help you anymore, which is reasonable when you're 23. Like, you gotta figure shit out for yourself. But I don't know. I really believe in God. I really believe in what's meant to be, destiny. I believe karma, and I think what has happened to me is beyond my control.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for someone watching this, let's say they are an up and coming artist. Let's say they've put 2, 3, 4 years in it. Let's say they are a part-time teacher. They're in the military and they want to get into the music stuff, but it doesn't feel like it's going the way they want it to at that particular moment, which is right now. What's some words of advice you can give to somebody?
I think if you're doing it for the actual love of it, it will work out. But if you're doing it for the love you'll get from it, it won't. And if it does, it won't last long.
Who were some of your influences since you are from Houston?
I mean, mainly just particularly from Houston, Travis.
Okay.
Big time. And Don Toliver.
Don Toliver.
Yeah.
What do you like about Travis so much?
So I have deep roots in that. I went to school with Travis Scott's sister. And
Really?
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan Webster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we were cool. We were really cool. And we used to butt heads a lot, but as we grew older, we got pretty cool. And She would take me backstage to Travis's shows in the early days of like
Really?
Al Farrow. Yeah. And I just seeing that come up and just seeing him along with Tyler the Creator at the time, just seeing that rebellious kind of like off, like, you know, like they was just doing their own shit.
Right.
Just, I don't know, it sparked so much in me, along with the whole ASAP collection as well. That
Right, right.
ASAP, you know, they just changed the game to me, and they just, yeah, they did. I can't even put it into words. Yeah,
So who would you want to work with at this particular point in your career?
definitely Travis.
Uh-huh.
You know, Yeet,
Okay.
you like Yeet,
Yeet.
I can see that.
Cardi.
Cardi.
You know, all the people. You know,
Yeah, all the people.
my age. You
Right.
know, I love them. You know, they've been such inspirations to me.
How old are you?
24.
You know, it's a really surreal moment right now because you don't really do interviews, I think, at all. And
Yeah,
to
this is
have
my
to
third one.
you know, to have you sitting down with us is pretty extraordinary. And one question I did want to ask is also who's behind you as well. You know, we got Brad Jordan here. His father is Scarface,
Yeah.
and so I got to ask the question. You know, how did that come about? Linking with Scarface, with Brad, and what is maybe some words of advice that even Scarface, who is an absolute legend, Houston legend, worldwide legend, what's some things he told you, getting into this?
I met Brad at a party and we were like 13. I don't know if anybody remembers the messaging app Kick. We had a group chat in there and we just got close in there and we started linking up making music, and then I didn't even know, to be honest, I didn't really even care
Uh-huh.
who his dad was. It was just like a full circle moment because my mom's husband, not my dad, he would listen to music I would make, and he'd be like, "Man, this is real music." And this was before I met him.
Really?
And he would put his dad on,
Oh my God.
and I met him like a year later, and we just, I would we would keep in touch with his dad whenever he called him, and we were making beats or whatever, and his dad always knew, that it was gonna be something. But also in the time we're in, we're not in a time where it's like word of mouth, like I check my artists out, blah blah blah. It's like a stock now. Like if you don't have anything to invest in, nobody's gonna invest in it. But he knew that there was going to be. And when everything blew up, he selflessly, he didn't even like say like, let me sign you to me, and he took me to the label directly.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like, get the most you can get out of this, you know?
Scarface took you to the record label himself?
Yeah, because me and Brad were getting calls
Uh-huh.
left and right from like hundreds of different labels.
Uh-huh.
And when we kept them updated, this label's calling, this label's calling. And there was a time where these labels were pressuring us to sign within 24 hours. We'll give you this much money, but you gotta sign tonight. It would make us so stressed out because we were like, damn, like we're gonna lose this much money. Like we can't afford to lose this much. But we would tell his dad, and I'm like, man, let me call this motherfucker. Let me call the CEO. Let me call him. And that would just dead that whole conversation.
Wow.
The bids would start getting higher and higher.
Really?
Yeah, man.
None of them would look like something that you wanted to do at the time.
Of course, but without the manipulative pressure of the industry, it made it a lot easier to sit back and like really look at everything and go through terms and go through what it is that really fit what I wanted as an artist, and not just something based off a trending song. Because at the time, it was just one trending song.
Really?
It turned into 10, 20, So
So are you signed right now?
I'm signed, yeah.
Okay. Now, when you got signed, how many songs did you have?
I had one trending song.
One trending song. So if I'm a label head, why should I give you a whole bunch of money?
I mean, just because at the time And still today with TikTok, depending on how big it gets,
Right.
and how well it converts from content to streams, you can make a meal off one song.
Really?
Yeah, you can. But
Have you done that before?
well,
Merry
He let you know.
Christmas.
Look at that smile. That
Merry
smile is
Christmas.
letting you know.
well, of course. But I didn't think it would be that. I was happy if it would have been one song. I was grateful. It was better than any situation I was in at the time. So, but it turned into much, much more. And I'm grateful to God, and I'm grateful to all my fans that have still to this day stuck with me.
You have very loyal fans. So what's like the biggest platform for you? Because TikTok is crazy, YouTube is crazy, but which is the one that's like, aha, this is the one. This is
As
my
far
baby.
as streaming,
Just in general, just for exposure, streaming, like what is going to generate you the most motion?
TikTok and YouTube for sure have generated me the most. And the conversion rate into streams has been insane.
Woo-hoo-hoo, that boy say insane.
Yeah, really, really
And
crazy.
Tari, let me ask you something. Can you tell us maybe one thing that maybe we don't know or someone may not know about you?
No, I feel like I'm pretty transparent. I feel like you know everything. They know
I may do,
everything.
but do they know everything?
Yeah,
Is there something?
yeah, they know.
That boy say I be on TikTok every day
Yeah,
talking
they
to my
know.
people.
Pretty much. I feel I'm very open, and I'm
Any kids?
on the way.
Here, on the way, over yonder,
way is crazy.
that you may or may not know about?
That was a good way to answer that. He was like on the way.
No kids. I want to get to a point where I can 100% take care of those kids.
Speaking of kids, how your family doing right now? Like your mom, your dad, and since you made a lot of money,
Yeah.
has there been a lot of pressure to help your family and other people in your life? It has.
No, I mean not too bad.
Right.
My dad was the type of person. My dad is from Palestine. He came here 16
hard.
years old, no English. He made his own business by himself. And I wasn't one of those like I won't say like I said I've said this before. I did not grow up poor or broke or anything.
Right.
But my dad always emphasized to me after this age, which was around 16 to 18, you got to figure this shit out because I cannot keep helping you because he made his business at like 21.
Right.
So to him, he doesn't tolerate laziness. He doesn't tolerate bullshit. And he never made me feel he always put me in a situation that in some shape or form made me uncomfortable. So what's funny is he told me when I was 18, when I used to show him songs, I used to be like, hey, this is my year. This is my year. He'd be like, you're not going to do anything until you're maybe 22, 23. And sure enough, he was right.
Wow.
23, that's when everything blew up. But when I was 23 and I was getting kicked out of my place and I was calling him for help, he did, like I said, he told me, I cannot help you anymore. You got to figure this out. You're a grown man.
So he's so proud of you right now,
So he's
right?
very proud. He's very relieved. When that first check came in,
What did he say?
I had negative $500 in my bank account.
Uh-huh.
And I was sleeping on my friend's couch, waiting, refreshing my bank.
And you saw it. Look at it.
Once it hit, screenshot it, I sent him. He just called me.
What was the first check? You can tell
He
us.
just
You can
called
tell
me
us.
crying.
And look, the man just say, no, you can't.
There's a lot of eyes on Tari.
He's like, don't tell him. Don't fall for that one.
He just called me crying.
Really?
He just called me crying, and I cried, and we all cried. My mom cried, I cried. It was like, oh, fuck. Okay,
Happy cry.
finally.
It's a happy cry.
Yeah,
though.
it was a very happy cry. Yeah, it was like, and before it came, I literally had asked God. I was just like, please, just the only thing I want is enough money and enough and to be successful in what I love. Just enough that so when my parents die, when they look at me on their deathbed, they don't have to worry about me.
That's deep.
That was the only thing I wanted. And I think I have that now.
Wow.
I think I have that now.
You know, one thing about you that I really like, Tari, is also, like you said, how open you are. And one thing that you're very open about is mental health. You know, I know one thing that you know, as a friend of yours, that you deal with is social anxiety. But then again, I see you on the stage and I see you at the Sonic premiere and I see you doing all this big stuff. How do you get past the social anxiety? How do you get past the mental health breaks that you have? How do you get past that? Because a lot of people, you know, including myself, even though J Mac and Jazz, even though we're very talkative people, we all go through it too. How do you get through that?
I think comparison. You know, they say comparison is the thief of joy, but also it can be a source of appreciation. And looking, making sure to remind yourself that others have it worse than you, and others have it better than you, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's from God. Um, Making sure you remind yourself that, hey, you know, you might be sad, but like, just from experience from my people and other places that are going through war right now, you didn't get your parents bombed in front of you in a drone with a drone strike. You know, like, it could always be worse. And I think it's super important to remind yourself how much better you have it than others, and not in a cocky way, in an appreciative way. And yeah.
You're a very humble dude. And, you know, we're about 3 days before Christmas. So I at least got to ask you, man, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, Elf.
Favorite Christmas food?
Christmas food?
Or Christmas
Like,
dish? Christmas
we don't
dish?
have none.
Christmas dish. He cooks. The guy should be telling me something really good.
That's what I was gonna say. I just cook steaks. Like,
That's it?
Steaks, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I had a
Steak.
steak, J-Mac.
Uh,
It was the chef's kiss.
Speaking of that, you can cook.
I
Or
can cook.
Are you out there
Yeah.
dating? Women love men who can cook.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Are you dating? Oh, he
Yes.
Oh, so what type of woman do you like?
Oh, I love my girlfriend.
Ah,
Good
good
answer.
answer.
Good
That's the
answer.
type of girl he
Okay.
likes.
Yeah.
Okay. What made your girlfriend so special?
Her her patience,
Uh huh.
willing to communicate,
Right.
and just her adaptation into accepting. I was telling her today, we have to change our perspectives in relation to our position.
Mhm.
And a lot of things would not be, I don't, a lot of things aren't tolerated in certain positions. And I mean that in the sense of, I don't know.
She's making you lose your words. So when she watches this, that's how much he loves you, all right?
Yeah, I don't know. She's just,
She's
she
special
gets
to you.
it. She gets it. She gets it. Yeah.
I always see a big smile on your face when you're around her. So Tari, you've been doing this now for a couple years strong, right? As far as like doing it at the level you're at right now. 2025 looks to be a massive year for you. What can we expect from you for 2025?
Album Phase on Various coming out. I'm trying to work on getting Varia point .5 before the album, an EP, because I know y'all are so tired of waiting on the album.
Did I hear baby?
Where?
2025? a little baby? Okay.
No baby.
Okay.
Not yet.
No Lil Tari yet.
Maybe 2027.
Okay.
We'll come back to 2027.
He'll be on the cameras.
Speaking to
Oh,
existence.
speaking of that, have you ever talked to Mo Amir?
Mo Amir.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Mo? You ever?
He's got
Mo Amber.
Mo Amber. He's got the show on Netflix, Houston related as well too.
You talking about that
Comedian.
the comedian? No,
Yeah.
I've never talked to him.
Right.
Nah.
I was just
My mom wants me to talk My mom wants me to
Do
watch
something
that
with him.
so bad. Yeah, because it's the cultural thing. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, you probably would do something great with it, man. You need to watch it. It's funny.
I heard it's funny.
Yeah, watch it, man.
Genuinely, I heard it's funny. So
And so look, we got a lot of OGs here right now. You got Paul Wall, that Mexican OT, Sauce Walker, Zero, Propane. Any Houston, like real Houston inspiration besides Travis Scott that you listen to or have listened to?
no, other than like honestly, to be on like the chopped and screw shit, DJ Screw.
Chopped and Screwed Tari project coming soon. Man, I think it'd be kind of
You know, I with my music, that's why I always slow it down at the end, so that they can have that taste of that.
So that's what it comes from.
That's exactly.
So
where
they
it
get a
comes
piece
from.
of Houston with almost every song that you dropped in.
It starts slow and ends slow. Yeah,
I like that.
and there's that vibe of that. When you slow something down, it turns into a completely different vibe. So yeah, that's where it comes from.
I
Sure.
agree. Well, this interview was a long time coming. It's one that I've been talking to J-Mac and Jazz about. Obviously, we've all been watching you. Love everything that you do for the city. Literally keep putting on. We are in your corner. We definitely want to do another part 2 later on. I know this man is hard to get to. We really appreciate you coming by today, guys. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe ASAP. And again, major shout out to the one and only Odetari. Happy holidays. We out.